Hi, I'm Phil Malto and welcome to Snowmobiler Television. In the last few weeks we've been to Northern Quebec, Revelstoke, BC, and today I'm in Ontario to try out our Polaris Switchback 60th Anniversary 800 HO and our Yamaha STX.
STV is sponsored by Yamaha, revs your heart. Kimpex, fueled by fun. And by Skidoo, never stop pushing.
This year in our Snowgoer Canada Snowmobiler Television fleet, we've got a 2015 Yamaha STX, and there's a few things about this sled I really like. There are a lot of things I like on this Viper. Of course, when you're talking Yamaha, so many people love to talk about the engine. The engine is flawless, it runs great, there's never a hiccup. But with the rest of this chassis, it's one incredible package. The long track is smooth and hooks up well. The front end is super smooth. It's a great cornering sled and it can take the rough stuff as well. Four strokes have been around for quite a while. One of the problems has been the positive and negative momentum of the extra weight. Well, this Viper, it handles it really well. The shocks on the front work with the skid frame in the back. There's no more rodeo riding with this baby. This thing travels straight all the time. Over the flat trails, through the moguls, it's a flat, level ride that's always consistent. Back here in Ontario, on a rough trail section, it was the suspension that really showed me what this sled can do. In the smaller divots, and in the big stuff, and in the doubles, this sled could really hold its own. There was no bottoming out and no kicks. It was just straight up, hit the drifts hard, hit the bumps hard, and this sled would really respond well. Another item that Yamaha added for us was knee pads. I really like these things. For cornering, you can snug right in there for some aggressive cornering, and if you're hitting the moguls, extra padding for the knees. And my 51-year-old knees, they really appreciate that. People who've ridden with me, especially on tours, know one thing. I like a tall windshield. I don't like getting cold, I get a lot of frostbite, and I stick my head out in the wind a lot for these contour cameras to get the best pictures possible, so I like a tall windshield that I can hide behind. I never used to think that a heated seat was really that big a deal until I started riding with the one on this Viper. At -30, it's so nice to be traveling along and hit a little bit of warmth. Another feature of this Viper is the easily accessible hand grips. I love the thumb and I love the way you can split these two up so easily when you're driving. Hands are a little too cold, throw on a little bit more heat. If the hand grips are too hot, you back them up. It's so easy on the fly, day or night, to adjust your hand grips. I love that idea. Since 2003, it's the rear skid frames on the Yamahas that have really got my attention. From the RX-1 to the Warrior package back in 2003, 2004, to today's sled, the rear skid has always been a bit of a challenge. Ever since Yamaha introduced four-stroke technology in the RX-1 package back in 2003, getting that power to hook up on the snow has always been a bit of a challenge, almost a bit of a dilemma, if you will. With the Warrior package, it was pretty evident that these four-strokes like a longer track to bite and hang on in the snow. Acceleration, braking, handling, corner, and the bumps have always responded better with a longer skid frame in these Yamahas. This is very true with this Viper package. With this longer skid frame, it really handles well. It accelerates well, it brakes well, and it handles the bumps much better with this longer skid frame. It really holds this whole suspension kit together, so when you're aggressive cornering, aggressive braking, over the moguls, it holds everything exactly where you want, making this one great Viper package. Over the last 15 years, Polaris has made a real commitment to building a high-end, high-caliber, top-notch suspension system. And now, in 2015, they've really nailed it with the Axis setup. With the introduction of the 60th Anniversary Edition 800 HO Switchback, Polaris has really upped the game. The changed telemetry and design of this suspension, along with the Walker Evans shocks, has really brought this sled to the forefront. In the rough stuff, this sled is just simply incredible. There's no kick, there's no flattening out, there's nothing but an incredible ride. The shocks, the suspension layout, it just takes it all in. When the snowmobile is sitting still, the sledder can appreciate the complexity of the design of this model. On the trail, you don't think about the complexity of the design, you just enjoy the phenomenal ride. This long skid frame really takes on the bumps and also helps the sled accelerate, keeping lots of track on the ground at all times. Into the corners, down the straightaway, through the whoops, into the bigger bumps, and back into the corners, this sled is an incredible package that simply does it all. Unlike previous designs, the axis setup is much easier to deal with. There's no more finicky setups. You've got a setup that works for you and you can just keep riding. No longer do you have to get off and keep clicking and adjusting things. Once you've got the sled dialed in, it's just ride, and ride hard. Overall, the sled is incredible, but there's one little thing on the sled that bothers me, and that is, when it goes into reverse, I don't get a beep sound. Now that may not sound big to some people, but for me, I like to know that a sled is in reverse. Even if it's not my sled, I want to know that somebody's actually backing up. So when you switch back and forth, you do get an indicator, but you don't get the beeping sound. And for me, that's peace of mind knowing that my sled or somebody else's sled is about to back up. At Snowmobiler TV, we're really fortunate to have a great working relationship with the folks at Triton Trailers. Top-notch trailers, and here's why. Triton Trailers bring a lot of quality and attributes to the snowmobiling market. When I'm pulling a snowmobile trailer, it's crucial that I have proper visibility around the trailer, and this design is slightly narrower so I can see everybody that's behind me. As you can see, this design delivers clear visibility for the driver when hauling this trailer down the highway. Inside the Triton trailer, here's one of the features I really learned to appreciate over the years, and that is the ability to move this back and forth, to move the sleds back and forth. So if you're moving different sleds, different sizes, simply slide that back and forth, cranks, and the front of the sled is locked into place. Another feature on our Triton trailer I've learned to appreciate is the side door. The side door makes it easy to access the sleds inside the trailer without opening the main door, and also makes it easier for fueling sleds as well. There are so many things about our Triton trailers that I like. I like the lightweight, the easy towing, the great axles and tires. I love the lights. I love the easy loading mechanisms. There are so many things that make Triton the #1 trailer.